6:30 having arrived, I'll officially call the meeting to order. Is the meeting been properly posted and the roll been taken?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 2 is pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 are approval of the minutes. 3.1 are minutes from February 25th, County Council and the Planning Commission, the joint minutes of February 25th. If there's no additions or corrections, I'd go ahead and entertain a motion to approve those minutes. So there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 4, communications. Do we have any communications this evening? So we'll move on to item number 5, which are public comments. Citizens may address the chair at this point of the meeting. Please just limit your comments to items that are on this evening's agenda for 3 minutes maximum. Is there any, and if anyone's wanting to speak publicly, all I would ask is that you come up to the podium here and state your name and address for the record. Anyone wish to make public comments at this time? If not, we'll move on to item number 6, which are reports of committees, boards, and commissions. 6.1 is the Finance Committee and the Financial Report. Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee met on March 11th. A number of items from the meeting are on tonight's agenda. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 8th at 5 p.m. And with that, I move to approve the financial report.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 2, issues that came from general operations update. Alderman Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. General Operations met on Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. We moved the April GOC meeting to Thursday, April 3rd because of the election. The police chief will be providing us with a 3-year comparisons at the next GOC. The building and zoning administrator permitted 8 new single-family homes in February. The Mott's liquor store is now open and the first Geronimo apartment should be ready in April. The remaining topics will come up later in this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Wilson. Item 6.3, Planning Commission, Alderman Booth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Planning Commission met on March 3rd. There are a number of items from that meeting that are on today's agenda. The next scheduled meeting is Monday, April 7th at 5 p.m. If anybody is interested, review the minutes that are filed with the clerk for public inspection.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Item 6.4, Public Works, Alderman Beazer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Public Works met February 27th. The next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, March 25th at 5:30 p.m.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Item 6.5, Town of Delavan Lake Committee, Alderman Beazer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Town of Delavan Lake Committee met March 5th. There was approval of the presentation for the slalom course to be installed within the Delavan Lake, and that should be going forward for approval at the town board. And it is something that I believe will be brought before this body. The next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. at Town Hall.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Item 6.6, Library Board of Trustees, Alderwoman Sen.
Thank you, Mayor. The Library Board of Trustees met February 20th. Our next meeting is scheduled for this Thursday, March 20th at 4:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Sen. Item 6.7, Parks and Recreation Commission, Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We met on February 24th. Our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 24th at 5:30 p.m.
Thank you, Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia. 6.8, Delavan Downtown Project Management Team, Alderman Beazer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Delavan Downtown Project Management Team has not met since the last council meeting.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Item 6.9, Delbrook Golf Commission.
Thank you,
Alderman
Mr. Mayor.
Square.
The Delaware Golf Commission did not meet, due to the lack of agenda items. Our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, April 21st at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Alderman Square. Item 6.10, Tourism Commission. Alderman Sem.
Thank you, Mayor. The Tourism Commission has not met since our last meeting. Our next meeting will be this Thursday, March 20th at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Alderwoman Sem. Item 7, Planning Commission. 7.1 is consider a conditional use petition to amend the group development to include in-vehicle sales or service and outdoor display land uses for automotive sales at 1830 Hobbs Drive, Unit H, tax parcel XSBP 00002E within the manufacturing light ML zoning district. Applicant Noel Vargas for NNG Auto Sales LLC.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed resolution granting the proposed limited conditional use permit, including the conditional use findings listed in the report to allow in-vehicle sales or service and outdoor display land use for automotive sales at 1830 Hobbs Drive, Unit H, tax parcel XSBP 00002E in the manufacturing light chemical zoning district to Noel Vargas for NNG Auto Sales LLC.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.2 is consider a request for a conditional use permit to amend the group development land use, allowing for multiple principal buildings on a single parcel XCRE 00032A and in the Creekside condominium XCRE 25 through XCRE 32, all within the residential mixed 8 RM-8 zoning district. Applicant Shooting Group LLC.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed resolution granting approval of the conditional use to amend the group development land use, allowing for multiple principal buildings on a single parcel XCRE 00032A and in the Creekside condominium XCRE 25 through XCRE 32 in the residential 8 RM-8 zoning district.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.3 is considered a request for a land redivision by condominium plat for addendum number 2, the property known as the Creekside condominiums. Applicant Shooting Group LLC.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed redivision identified as Creekside condominium addendum number 2 for the properties located on South Second Street, subject to the creation of an amended easement for the public water main.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.4 is consider a request for a land redivision by condominium plat for the Creekside condominiums 2, applicant Shooting Group LLC.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed division identified as Creekside condominium 2 for a property located on South Second Street, subject to the granting of variance for the building setbacks.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.5 is consider a requested plan infill development amendment to the official zoning map for a revised step 3 general development plan at 2400 East Geneva Street, located in the manufacturing light and zoning district to allow for residential development in a portion of the Lake Lawn Resort Golf Course applicant Harvard Club at Lake Lawn LLC.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed ordinance allowing land infill development amendment to the official zoning map for a revised step 3 general development plan at 2400 East Geneva Street, located in the manufacturing light ML zoning district to allow for residential development in the area of Lake Lawn Resort, including any additional conditions of approval recommended by staff, planning commission, or town council.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I just had a question about some of the, I know at planning commission, some of the conditions had come up with the GDP flexibility section of the report, one North Shore Drive setbacks, there was one. Have we addressed all of those through staff? And because I was just a little confused when I read the memo, whether there was some clarity that was, there seemed to be a consensus on some of these issues, but then not so. And that was one.
Yeah, I don't believe that language is in the draft in front of you, if you wanted to add that as potential language.
Alderman Beazer, if you remember some of those, there was also the limit size to allow on-street parking that we all seem to kind of, I could also, I could let the developer just clarify some of those things that we had talked about. Because it seemed to be the consensus that, especially the widening of the street allowed for a little more safety from parking, but I'll let the developer.
Thank you.
Just clarify some of that.
We just had a chance to read it this morning, and there were three main things that I believe were agreed upon at the planning commission that did not make it into the report. There was a flexibility section on North Shore. We had one lot that we asked for a little relief on that 100-foot setback, and that was agreed upon. The planning commission asked that we widen the private road, which made our lots, we're gonna have to make the lots smaller, which everybody agreed. So that didn't make it into the report. So what we really need to have the report say is the lots are 57 feet wide and 89 deep, not 59 feet wide and 94 deep. This will allow us to have parking on the street and still be able to build the homes that we'll be looking at building. And then we asked for a 10-year on that. You guys brought us down to 5, which we were fine with. All we wanted is a note in there that basically said that, you know, if we needed another 5-year extension, that the council would be, you know, willing to address that and look at it if it, you know, was appropriate at that time. So we were just asking for an additional 5 years, not a 10-year, just a 5-year with an additional 5-year if we needed it. So, and those, I believe, Mayor, were all agreed upon at the meeting. They just didn't make it in the.
That's why when I didn't see him in there, I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering.
So
Because it seemed to be the consensus of everyone.
That's how we saw it. So I just wanted to make sure that made it in the GDP. So when we get into the PIP, you know, 2 or 3 months from now, people aren't saying, oh, why'd you change that? Why'd you do this? You know, we're not changing it. This is exactly what we'll be coming back with. If there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to try to answer them.
Mr. Mayor, some of those have been already stricken from here. Like the pieces in there regarding the changing from the 10-year down to 5-year, that's been stricken in here.
Right,
And the setbacks were. Well.
right. And that's why I was bringing it up, because I didn't see it.
We just wanted to make sure there was clarity, I guess.
Yeah, I think that it's important to clarify this, even though there's additional.
We
meetings.
still have to do the PIP
Yep,
and all
so-
that. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. And the lot size, you know, I just want, it originally was wrong, and I just want to make sure that we're all in agreement on the lot sizes that we're gonna be bringing back to you, and we are widening the road for the PIP. So however you guys want to handle that is fine with me. I just want to make sure
Yeah,
that we're all on the same
when I
page.
was reading the memo, I didn't see some of the
Yeah.
points, and so now is the time to clarify that, I thought too, so I don't know if staff wants to add anything more to it, but that's kind of seemed to be the consensus, so again, there's gonna be more meetings on this, and there's gonna be more things to come before the planning commission and ultimately the council, but those were the consensus that I saw. So I don't know if any staff wants, or if you want to make that as part of your motion, as part of some. This staff one,
Well, this should be coming back to planning commission.
right, it will be, yeah,
Yeah. Because those pieces have been pulled out during the planning commission. Meeting, yeah.
If we're,
I understand.
if we're in an understanding that the lot sizes and the relief on North Shore, but I'm fine with that. I just wanted to make sure that we're not gonna get, stung 2 months from now when someone says, hey, why'd you change the lot sizes? We didn't. This is how they always been. It was just reported wrong in the GDP approval. That's one thing I'm concerned about for the future, but if we're in agreement that, we all know that the lot sizes are what they're gonna be, I'm fine with that.
So would you amend your motion then to state that, subject to the list of conditions identified by city staff, planning commission, the common council, and as approved by the common council, including amending the lot sizes to 57 by 89
Correct.
and amending the length of the approval for a period of 5 years, and the council reserves the right to reconsider an additional 5 years.
That would be fine. Yep.
Does that cover everything? I wasn't planning.
right.
Sorry,
No, but that's, I guess, what I was looking at, because that seemed to be the discussion.
57 to 80.
And there was a lot of discussion on the lot sizes, so I mean, especially the widening, to allow for some parking.
Yeah.
But yet still, allow more safe people traveling through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that, as a planning commission, that clears it up better for me, knowing that it's clear here. And we're gonna have more meetings on all of these topics and seeing more plans and other issues are gonna come up, and
Sure.
I'm sorry.
I was just a little confused that it
North
was.
Shore Drive setback.
You said 3 things,
Yeah,
correct?
the last one was the North Shore
Oh,
setback
okay.
on the one lot.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think it was lot 107, I can't.
407.
Oh, 407,
Correct,
correct.
thank you. So if you were very eloquent in the way you did that, so
That's what we pay him to do.
you should.
So so what you're at, just so I'm clear, because unfortunately I wasn't at the planning
Sure.
commission. So you're asking for a variance from the North Shore setback for lot 407.
Correct.
So that would be added to the
Yeah,
conditions. And I think the clerk has, in her own eloquent way, made me sound even smarter than some days I am.
That was last 407.
Yes.
So I would just make a motion to amend your previous motion by condition as discussed.
You're,
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
yeah, no, thank you for
Clerk has all
walking
the
this.
details. And if she doesn't, she'll say she did. Okay. And then we would need a second.
We need a
from the same
second.
person.
Yep, from the person that made the second, I can't remember who made the second.
What would you like me to make?
I think you make it.
You have to make that.
You have to make it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you can make the amendment pursuant to
All right.
city attorney's recommendations and the clerk has.
Yes.
And just to clarify, because I was also not at the commissioner, I'm certain that that was all that was missing from.
Those are the pieces.
Those were the ones that but yeah, I guess while we're at it, was there anything, those were the highlights that I knew we had talked about, seemed like we had come to a consensus for. With that,
Seeing as there's a previous motion, I'll make an amendment to my original motion to include the discussion pieces that were just outlined by the city attorney and recorded by the clerk based on the discussion that took place here. My comments.
Second.
all right, there's a motion and a second on the amendment, everyone clear on the amendment? And we'll have all those in favor, there's a motion and a second, any further discussion? On the amendment? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the amendment signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes now. We'll have a regular motion with the amendment included.
Before we get to that, just a piece of discussion, in the future, whenever we discuss these pieces and the planning commission, I know it's been brought up before. But it'd be very helpful not to miss this when it comes before. Thank you.
With that, you care to make the motion as amended? With the amendment?
It's already out, so we're just gonna-
Okay.
So we just need to vote without the original motion.
You're clear on who made that motion and who seconded it? Okay, any discussion on the motion that was amended? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.6 is consider a request from Alliant Energy for an easement to route underground power cables through a portion of the city-owned parking lots between Second Street and Third Street.
Mr. Mayor, sorry, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the request from Alliant Energy to route underground power cable through the eastern portion of the public parking lot at 105 South Second Street and the eastern portion of the municipal building parking lot at 123 South Second Street as presented.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 8, Finance Committee, 8.1 is considered the purchase of a total Groundsmaster 4000D from Rangers Incorporated on Sussex at a total cost of $77,461.80.
Move to approve a resolution declaring the existing Toro 4000D as surplus for trade-in purposes and purchase a Toro Groundsmaster 4000D from Raiders Incorporated at a total price of $77,461.80.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Square,
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman South,
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.2, consider award of the 2025 street and utility improvements contract to One Sec Corporation of Burlington, Wisconsin for an amount of $773,444.
Mayor, I move to award the 2025 street and utility improvements contract to the Wanasec Corporation of Burlington, Wisconsin for an amount of $773,444.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman South.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.3 is consider award of the 2025 sanitary sewer rehabilitation contract to Sewer Incorporated out of Pewaukee, Wisconsin, in the amount of $164,769.70.
We move to award our 2025 sanitary sewer rehabilitation contract to Viju Sewer Incorporated of Pewaukee, Wisconsin, in the amount of $164,769.70.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderwoman South.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.4 is consider award of the 2025 street repaving contract to asphalt contractors out of Union Grove, Wisconsin for an amount of $329,152.
Move to award the 2025 street repaving contract to asphalt contractors of Union Grove, Wisconsin for an amount of $329,152.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman South.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.5 is consider approval to pay invoice from the town of Delavan for completion of the Delavan Lake dredging projects in the amount of $31,000.
I move to approve payment of the invoice from the town of Delavan for completion of Delavan Lake dredging projects in the amount of $31,000.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Alderman Square.
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman Sal.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.6, our approval of the bill.
I move to approve warrant 2025-02.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 9, issues that came before General Operations Committee. 9.1 is considered Class B liquor license for Schmuck's Bar at 1265 Racine Street.
Mayor, I'll move to approve the Class B liquor license for Schmuck's Bar at 1265 Racine Street, Mark W. Schmuck agent. Contingent upon the sale of the building to Ms. Churchill, upon Lisa Lang relinquishing the Wally Wheels liquor license back to the city, upon payment of outstanding taxes due, and to include the use of the drive-through only upon approval of the conditional use permit. The license shall include the outdoor seating area depicted in Exhibit A for the remainder of the license period ending June 30th, 2025.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 9.2 is considered changes to the municipal code 8-1-7 natural lawns to amend the permit renewal procedure.
I'll move to adopt the ordinance change to municipal code statute 8-7-7, 8-1-7, parent C, parent 2, amending the renewal procedure for natural lawns.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 10, other business. 10.1 is considered purchase of sodium chloride through the Wisconsin Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to acknowledge enrollment by the city of Delavan in a municipal agreement to purchase sodium chloride through the Wisconsin DOT Cooperative Purchasing Program for a seasonal fill amount of not less than 600 tons of salt for the 2025-2026 winter season.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 10.2 is considered the mayor's appointment to the Tourism Commission. I am nominating Lindsay Peterson. And for those of you who may not know Lindsay, you may know her better as Lindsay Shreves Peterson now. Someone that certainly those that have been around here a long time know the Shreves name. Lindsay herself is a long time Delavan resident. Her parents have been very actively involved. Her grandma was a longtime teacher and very actively involved in a number of different organizations. Her grandpa was Gene Shreves, a Delavan golf course pro for many years. Her great grandpa was a member of this board way back in the 1940s and 50s. So she comes from a family that definitely has been actively involved, bettering our community. She herself has worked, she's again a Delavan resident currently and in the past. Currently works as a finance director for Milwaukee County. Prior to that was the village clerk, treasurer, and clerk, treasurer, and administrator for Darien. And that's what her Services did a very fine job for the village of Darien before moving on to Milwaukee County as their finance director. So I nominate and put forward Lindsay Peterson. Anyone care to make a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the mayor's appointment of Lindsay Peterson to the Tourism Commission.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 11 is public comments. Citizens may address the chair at this point of the meeting. Just please limit your comments to once for no more than 2 minutes. So you can speak on any issue. Yes, just please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, everyone. Today we are here to address the commercial indoor lodging code. By we, I mean Baymont, Super 8, Comfort Inn, Evergreen Motel. So the commercial indoor lodging code, it limits the occupancy to 180 days for individual or a family out of 365 days. So as it is, as the hotel owners, we don't see occupancy of more than 55% average year over year. So our concern is that we need to, like, why not have those rooms available to fill them up rather than, like, just have them empty. Because we do have guests that stay more than 180 days in some cases, especially whenever we have fire or anything in the town. Like myself at Baymont, we do have a couple guests which are staying for, like, last 12 months, I would say, when we had the fire at the senior community. Also, we do have in some cases where some of the on-site staff is present to ensure the crime and safety oversees operations and everything. So we need to have some rooms just so we can fill them up during our downtime and everything. Also, like, ensures that staff is present in those rooms, which oversees day-to-day operations as well.
You for your comment.
Yep.
Anyone else wish to make public comments at this time? And if you do not, we'll move on to item number 12, which is suggested future agenda items. Are there any future agenda items at this time? If not, just let myself or the city administrator or city clerk know. Happy to add that to the agenda for future discussions. With that, we'll move on to item number 13, which is recess to closed session. 13.1 is pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 parent 1 parent C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility regarding the city administrative performance evaluation. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
I move to recess to closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 parent 1 parent E.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a
I'm
motion.
sorry, was that parent 1, parent C?
I'm sorry, yes, thank you. I amend my motion.
And there is a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Square,
Yes.
Alderwoman Armstrong Garcia.
Yes.
Alderwoman Savage.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beaver.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll take a brief recess. And go into closed session.